Looks like MSNBC is pretty much dying. Like, totally dying.
And it's time for Lefties Losing It.
What is this?
And bad news for MSNBC. Their ratings were already low, but they have plummeted even further in the crucial 25 to 54 age demographic. MSNBC.
They're probably so happy about today's crash out because it means they can justify having their job for one more week.
Seen its ratings plunge 41% during prime time and 34% across
41% drop? Oh my God. Yeah, they're cooked.
The total broadcast day compared with just a year ago. Now, this is according to leaked ratings figures, and I can't imagine why.
Damn.
We finished
it's a
the
wrap.
first episode.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I need a drink. I need a drink. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And we're going to eat. We're going to drink. We're going to party. We're going to eat. We're going to drink. And we're going to be back tomorrow.
Meanwhile, in the back, they're like working.
Okay, come back.
Why?
Well, that was something, wasn't it? Wow.
Isn't their show rating? It's a mystery.
Yeah.
And the host to suffer the most humiliating collapse is Jen Psaki. Let's have a look.
The speeches are getting much more disturbing and much more unhinged, and we should all hear it that way.
Uh-oh.
Now to CNN, who...
It's not even true. He just says the same shit every single time. Like, I've watched all of Trump's speeches. They're not getting more unhinged. It's the exact... It's literally like he even had like a list that he would go down. It's just copy pasta the same time. That's why we stopped watching them, because it's like he's going to talk about this and he's going to talk about the trans thing. If he brings up power, he's going to bring up windmills. If he brings up windmills, he's going to bring up birds. If he brings up birds, he's going to talk about it being a cemetery underneath the windmill for the birds. He just always does the exact same thing. And then he'll always end with, you know, again, Ukraine is usually towards the end of the speech. I've seen like 50 of these. And that's the reason why they're losing ratings. It's not even because they're biased. It's because it's not even fucking true.
Have been none too happy about airing an interview where a hostage held by Hamas made it clear that the terrorists wanted Kamala Harris to win the election.
Oh, yeah.
Scared of him. Yeah, they wanted...
Who?
The terrorists.
We're afraid of Trump.
Yeah. They
I bet.
wanted Kamala to be chosen, to be elected.
You talked politics with them?
Yeah.
Of course.
They wanted Kamala
I mean, like, really, like, what else are they going to do?
to be elected. When Trump
Yeah.
came into
No, I believe
became
that.
president, yeah, the way they treated us changed. For me, personally, this is what I
think
felt.
because they anticipated that a deal would come soon.
Yeah,
And that's when they started giving you more food.
exactly. More food, treated me better, you know, stopped cursing me, stopped spitting on me.
Now to the Hollywood elite. Here
Wow.
are some pearls of wisdom from Idris Elba, who thinks he knows how to stop knife crime in the UK. Let's ban all those pointy kitchen knives.
What?
The truth is that kitchen knives are perhaps 25% of the knives used in most of the terrible crimes. That's one of the stats in the films. And those kitchen knives are usually a domestic situation, okay? So kitchen knives, of course, it's very difficult. They're a domestic knife. I do think there is areas of innovation that we can do with kitchen knives. I hate to say it, not all kitchen knives need to have a point on them. That sounds like a crazy thing to say, but actually...
Well, what if they did something? This is a good idea. What if they made every kitchen knife magnetic? And then they made every shirt also magnetic, but the opposite. Yeah.
It would reduce.
That's right.
You know, you can still cut your food without the point on the knife, which is an innovative way to sort of look at it. And in a country in crisis, I'm sorry, but yeah, let's look at that.
What about
Oh,
like a
yes.
fork?
Genius idea there. Maybe we can ban forks next. Now to Dylan Mulvaney. He's back, and this time he's promoting fashion label Jean Paul Gaultier.
Oh, God.
Dylan taking more jobs from women. The patriarchy always wins. Now,
Jesus Christ.
a lot has been said about Democrat-appointed activist judges, lawfare, and even the term judicial insurrection is starting to gain hold. Here is a judge, not talking about constitutional matters, but the importance of judges looking like the offenders. This is Judge Cassandra Collier-Williams.
I thought that it was important that, especially in criminal cases, where when you have people that on one side of the bench, they can look at the judge and say, wow, she looks like me, then maybe I have a better shot.
Yep, that's
always good. If the judge is black, they're going to give me a better sentencing. Wow. Just like the founding fathers wanted. Surely. Oh, wow. What a good way to do things.
really important. By the way, the judge's own son is in jail for murdering his wife, shooting her in the head 3 times. Let's check in now.
3 times? What the hell do you need to do it 3 times for? What an idiot. 3 times?
With brave women's rights warrior CatDany. She is a great champion of women, and she's in the US to fight against the excesses of the trans movement.
Oh, no.
But the young woman interviewing her here insists that Kelly J. Keane call men trans women.
A man who calls himself a woman is not one, that you shouldn't transition children.
So how are trans women infringing on cis women's spaces?
So men in women's spaces makes it no longer a women's space, so we don't have a right to a women's space if a man is allowed in it.
Have you ever felt personally unsafe with a trans woman in your presence?
Have I felt unsafe with men in my presence? Yes, 100%.
Trans women?
Yeah, men. So that would be free speech. If you say you're for free speech and you're trying to police my speech to call a man, then you wouldn't be for free speech, would you? Are you for free speech?
Why is there a Palestine flag here? I thought this was about trans stuff. The hell is this?
I guess not. Very upsetting.
And here is Kelly J. Keane telling women in burqas, those dehumanising Muslim modesty garments, to free themselves. You gotta love her.
Free yourselves, ladies. Free your faces. Free yourselves.
Okay.
And exciting news, folks. There's a new pronoun in town. Yes, it's flow and flows. Here's how you use it.
Today's pronoun of the day is flow flows. Remember that these pronouns were requested by someone who does currently use them or intends to use them in the future. The word flow suggests fluidity, movement, change, which can be important symbols for gender. All right, now let's see how to use these pronouns in a conversation. I miss Kim so much. Have you seen Flo today? Yeah, I ran into Flo at the library earlier today. Flo was working on Flo's presentation for tomorrow. Oh,
This is the girl from Progressive. That's confusing.
nice. I've been meaning to ask if Flo needs any help with it.
Oh my
I think
God.
Flo would really appreciate that. Flo said that it's been really hard to handle all by Flo's self.
Now to Boulder, Colorado. Earlier today, the site of an act of terrorism, domestic terrorism.
What is wrong with these
against
people?
A pro-Israel demonstration.
Oh my God.
People were set alight with a number
It's
of
Flo Rida?
individuals seriously hurt,
shit.
some with life-threatening injuries. This was among the first clips after the attack. In the chaos, you can see people running towards and away from the attack, and you can see the alleged attacker, Mohammed Solomon, to the left of your screen, topless and meters away from victims.
Just a minute. Well, I just want to watch this part about the news stuff. This is about something separate, but I'll pause it here. The thing is that your automata on Reddit is removing hundreds of posts. Do you know why? It's because you guys, like, let me just address this first, okay? Let me address this first. The media, I think, is losing a tremendous amount of its power. And I think the reason why the media is losing its power isn't necessarily because of, like, any cringe stuff like this. It's because they're putting out information that's not newsworthy and it's not informational and it doesn't help people. So why is the news failing? Well, the news is failing because it's no longer news. That's the reason why it's failing. And so, like, for example, like the unhinged Trump does the same speech every single time, but now we need to be afraid of Trump's speeches. He's been doing the same thing every single time. And so that's the real issue that happens, right? And you're correct. Yeah, 100%. Like I said, this is considered news. Well, I do think it's very newsworthy that MSNBC, like, I mean, 41% collapse is fucking insane, though. Like, that is a crazy level of fucking collapse. It's unreal. Yeah, absolutely. You're supposed to be scared of everything. Well, the reason why they want you to be scared of everything is because if you're scared of everything, you're going to tune into the news to find out how to avoid it the next time. And that's the whole reason why it happens. And so a lot of people might not understand this. They might not get it, but that is the reason. That is their goal. They want to keep you paranoid, freaked out, worried, and that way you keep tuning in to find out what happens next. So yeah, that's it. So there's 6 people watching instead of 4, instead of 10. Yeah, that's basically about it. Yeah. So for every 10 people that were watching, there's now only 6. And that's a really bad ratio, by the way. That is a crazy bad ratio. And Asmongold News Network, #1. Well, the reason why a lot of people watch me is that I think I at least try to get things right, and I don't actively try to put a spin on things that's unfair. Like, for example, like, I think that there's a lot of, like, whenever Elon Musk was talking today about how, like, is there time for a new political party? I think the answer to this is yes. But I don't. The problem is that every political party usually ends up pulling from one side more than the others, and so it ends up being counterproductive. Like the Bull Moose or the Whig Party or like Libertarians, people blame the Green Party on Kamala Harris losing, and so that's really why it happens. But yeah, the Gold Party, I like that. That sounds really good. Do you think people are getting bored of being afraid all the time? I think there is that too. Like, there's a degree of fatigue that people have where, like, if everything is an emergency and everything is a constitutional crisis and everything is a threat to our democracy and everything, like, every single day, like, the country is on fire, eventually people just get used to the fire. Yeah, that's a really great, I love that term, fear fatigue. People have fear fatigue. They're just exhausted from having everything be this constant, highly elevated, extremely emotional situation. I think they're totally out of their fucking mind dealing with that shit. And so that's really what it is. Do you think the entire world is tired of Trump? Well, I know Elon is. I'll tell you that.